I moved $14,000 into a high-yield savings account before the Fed cut rates. That decision is earning me $47 every month that my old bank account never would have. I did this 30 days ago. Here is exactly what happened. The national average savings rate right now is 0.38% APY. The best high-yield savings accounts are paying 4.01 to 5.00% APY. On $14,000, that gap is the difference between $4.40 per month and $47 per month. That is not a small rounding error. That is a $508 per year difference. And most people are on the wrong side of it. There is a window closing on these rates. The Fed has already cut twice. Every analyst with a public prediction expects further cuts in 2026. By the end of this video, you will know which accounts are still paying the highest rates right now, why the window exists and when it closes, and the one step that actually moved my money. Not a plan to move it, the actual transfer. You might be thinking, is this really worth the effort to switch banks? I thought the same thing for 8 months. 8 months at 0.38% APY on $14,000 cost me $394 in lost interest. That is real money I did not earn because switching felt inconvenient. Before we go further, I am not a financial advisor, and none of this is advice. What I am showing you is the exact process I used, the actual rates I found, and the math I ran. High-yield savings account rates are variable. They change. The specific rates shown here are accurate as of May 2026, but you should verify current rates before making any decision. Links to each account I mentioned are in the description. Here is what I promised. The rate comparison, the account I chose, the transfer process start to finish, and what the monthly interest actually looks like in practice. Most traditional savings accounts pay 0.38% APY. That is the current national average according to the FDIC. On $14,000, that earns roughly $53 per year. Not $53 per month, per year, 44 cents per day. Here is what has changed. In 2022, the Federal Reserve began the most aggressive rate hiking cycle in 40 years. Online banks and credit unions with lower overhead passed those rate increases directly to depositors as higher APY. For the first time in a generation, holding cash in the right savings account was genuinely worth optimizing. Let me tell you what I was doing before I made this switch. I had $14,000 sitting in a checking account at a big national bank. It was earning 0.1% APY, not the national average, the floor. For the 14 months I left it there while I meant to move it, I earned $14 in interest. I lost roughly $560 in interest I could have collected. The inconvenience I was avoiding was a 12-minute account opening process. Here is the current rate landscape as of May 2026. Rates are moving, but these were the 3 best accounts I found after comparing across 20 plus options. Varo Bank, 5.0% APY, highest available rate I could confirm. Requirement, monthly direct deposit or debit card transactions to qualify for the top tier. Without meeting the activity requirement, the rate drops to 3.0%. New Tech Bank, 4.35% APY, no activity requirements, straightforward high-yield savings. FDIC insured, slightly less flexible for withdrawals than the big names. Axos One, 4.21% APY, interest checking and savings hybrid. Best option if you want the rate on your main spending account rather than a separate savings account. Compare those to Marcus by Goldman Sachs at 3.65% APY and Alibank at 3.80% APY. Both solid, well-known, slightly below the leading rates. Here's the number that made this decision obvious for me. On $14,000, the gap between Varo at 500% and my old bank at 0.38% is $644 per year. The gap between Varo at 5% and Marcus at 3.65% is $189 per year. The difference between the best and second best options is real, but the difference between any HYSA and a traditional savings account is the one that matters most. If you are still at a traditional bank, switching to any of these accounts is worth approximately $500 per year on a $14,000 balance. I chose Newtek Bank for my switch. Here is why. Varo's 5% rate has a catch. To earn the top tier, you need at least $1,000 in monthly direct deposits and 5 qualifying debit card purchases per month. I did not want to restructure my direct deposit to optimize savings rate, the guaranteed rate without conditions. That was worth more to me than the extra 0.65%. The account opening process at Newtek took 9 minutes. Name, address, social security number, bank routing number for the funding transfer. The initial transfer of $14,000 took 3 business days to clear. After that, the interest calculation started immediately. Before I found the process that worked, I spent 3 months reading rate comparison articles online. The problem, those articles are monetized. The top Google results for HYSA comparisons are affiliate pages that rank accounts based on referral commission, not actual rate. I read 6 articles and got 6 conflicting recommendations. 3 of them promoted accounts that had already quietly reduced their rates. The reason the research approach failed is that I was trusting third-party sites selecting recommendations based on revenue, not performance. What worked was going directly to each bank's website and checking the current rate myself, not the rate in an article published 3 weeks earlier. I have to be honest about something. I almost picked the wrong account twice. The first time, I almost opened an account at a bank offering 5.25% APY, which had dropped to 4.50% by the time I actually went to open it, and the original article was 11 days old. The second time, I almost picked an account I later realized had a $10,000 minimum to earn the advertised rate. Reading the fine print cost me an extra 20 minutes. Not reading it would have cost me far more. Actually, before the 4 steps, one thing I almost left out. FDIC insurance. Every account I am about to recommend is FDIC insured up to $250,000. Newtek, Varo, Axos. These are real banks with full federal coverage, not fintech apps. Verify any online bank at fdic.gov before opening. Do not skip this step. Here is the system that actually works for finding and moving to the best HYSA available right now. Step 1. Go directly to bankrate.com or NerdWallet and filter by FDIC insured accounts only. Do not read review articles. Use the filter tools to sort by current APY. Note the top 3 that do not have complicated activity requirements. Step 2. Visit each bank's website directly. Find the current rate on the savings account page, not the home page. Verify it matches what the comparison site listed. Look for the fine print, minimum balance, monthly fees, direct deposit requirements, and withdrawal limits. Step 3. Open the account. Have your social security number, government ID, and existing bank routing number ready. Budget 10-15 minutes. Most FDIC insured online banks can open and verify your account same day. Step 4. Transfer the money. Do not wait for market conditions. Do not wait for a better rate. The best rate available is earning you money from day 1. The rate you are earning at your current bank is not improving while you research. My $14,000 moved to Newtek on April 2nd. 30 days later, May 2nd, I have earned $47.25 in interest. That is $47.25 I was not earning before. Annualized, that is $567 per year. The 9-minute account opening process has a $567 annual return on time invested. Here is the question I cannot answer yet, but I am tracking live. The Fed has cut rates twice since the HYSA peak of 5.50%. The banks are not required to lower their savings rates immediately. Some hold rates steady for months after a Fed cut to retain depositors. But the rates are trending down. What I want to know is, how much does my 47-month drop with each quarter-point Fed cut? And at what point does the HYSA stop being significantly better than a traditional bank? I am tracking the Newtek rate weekly for the next 90 days. I will show you exactly how the interest changes, month by month, as the Fed cuts happen. Subscribe so you see the live data. That tracking video will give you the exact exit signal, the rate and the conditions under which switching back or moving to a different instrument makes financial sense. Your action today. Open your current savings account app, find your APY, and calculate what you are earning per month. Then go to bankrate.com, sort by HYSA rate, and check the top result. If the gap is more than 2% APY, and it probably is, the switch is worth the 10 minutes it takes. The WealthFlick money system is built in order. Budget first, emergency fund second, HYSA for that fund, then debt, then investing. This video is step 3. The full series is in the playlist below. Leo turns toward the end screen. I showed you how to earn more on cash. Next video, how I'm using that interest to start clearing debt faster.